Hi, Jamie. I'm so sorry about that. Zoom, of
It's okay.
course, started on me. I had to go through an update. One of those days.
No worries.
Doing, hun? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Yeah, it's cool to see your face because I've seen you on videos a ton of time, but it's nice to meet you face to face.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you too. It's so nice to meet you. Where are you calling in from?
Southern California.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'm in New York at the moment, and the weather is just starting to get that like chilly feel in the air, and it's a
Oh,
little
nice.
much for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would much rather have that because it's in the high 90s today.
Are you kidding me? What?
No,
Is that normal for SoCal at this time of
it
the year?
can be.
It
This
can be.
area, yeah, because we're like in the Inland Empire, so we don't get the cool breeze from the beach. So
Got it.
it can be like 90 something to 102 for like 7 months out of the year. And then our winters are like, they might be like 50s and 60s with some rain or sprinkles, but that doesn't last very long. We had like 2 weeks of that, and now we're just waiting for it to come back.
Wow. That's so cool. It's like a dry heat too, right? So it's not
Yeah.
super humid or sticky at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
It's
it's
dry.
really hot. I like getting weathered. I really do. Um, but yeah, to get back to why we're here today and not waste your time much longer. Again, I'm sorry about that.
No,
Um,
it's fine.
Thank you. I read through your questionnaire and I saw that you're looking at you want some more of like how to sleep more comfortably with it on. Um,
Mhm.
and then getting some more consistent curls that don't look like you wore the headband. Um,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
My,
talk to
my
me.
hair texture is weird. So like my hair texture is like if you pull the hair out from underneath, this part's like really soft and
Yeah,
it's very easy. I don't, to be honest, I could shower and not put anything in it and it would be really soft and straight. But this whole area back here is like textured and like, I guess you would say dry, but I have split ends all over the place. But in the back, it's hard. It's always frizzy. So like even if I've like treated and blow dried my hair, when I whether or not I use the robe curls, when I wake up in the morning, this area is just frizzy if I don't straighten it with a, like an actual straightener.
got it.
Um, and so when I talk about like consistent curls, what's happening is like I'll I'll wrap it, and then when I go to take it out, it's these beautiful billowy waves. Once I comb through it, it's like the ends are twisting together, but the rest of it just kind of falls straight.
Got
Or
it.
in the back, I get like this little crown from the
Yep.
curl rod, where
Yep.
like it'll be like dented right here, and then the curls are underneath it. So I'm brushing it out and trying to get it like it looks more relaxed. And then this, I slept in it last night, but this is all I have left. It's like
Wow. And it's
almost
the end
gone.
of the day, and it's like not it's 3 o'clock your time, and it's almost gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And then question for you is when you wrap it, what's your hair like before you put it in the headband? Is it lightly dampened? Do you put products in it? What's it like? Do you
Um,
blow dry it beforehand?
if it's if it's after the shower, I'll dry it like I don't know, probably like 90 to 95%. The problem is like my hair is so thick and dense. I think the first time I tried one of these, it wasn't actual robe curls, it was a
Yeah,
different brand. And I put it in at like 90%, to me, like 90% dry. I think it was just like the inside of it was still a little damp. And of course, the next morning when I woke up, the hair was still damp and I
mm-hmm.
had to go to work. I had to take it out of the wrap,
Oh
go
no.
to work and let it sit in those curls. Like I couldn't brush it. And I had to like wait until it air dried before
Yeah.
I could brush it out. Like my hair holds moisture like crazy. So honestly, the after a shower, I'll get it like almost completely dry and I might spritz it with some water and then put it up. And that seems to last pretty good. The only thing is that um when I spritz it, it gets frizzy. So
It,
like if I
yeah.
I use like maybe a different kind of product that might help. But on day 2 or 3, I've just been doing it dry, to be honest.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense. Cool. So when I would recommend just, I'll take it back a notch. So what I'll do is I'll kind of walk you through my thoughts on like how we can improve on like the prepping side and how those might help to alleviate some of the problems you're having there. And then we can leave some time to kind of just like wrap it together. I'll demo it with, if you have it on you, to make sure that we know how like to wrap it perfectly. I'll like make any tweaks and you can call it comments along the way. But so like just what we're talking about right now, you mentioned a couple things. So one thing is that when you take it out, you get like kind of like they all clump together, right? And it's like a sausagey curl, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I recommend is to just kind of break apart the different sections. And you can finger curl those different sections and it'll just naturally like pop into curl shape. So you can make as many as you want, little or big. And I don't know if you already knew this, I'm sorry if you did, I'm being redundant, but this is how I break up those sausage curls so that you can create, you know, more layers and volume to your hair as well. You do like a couple on top of each other, and that'll also help with the back because it'll just like kind of pop it back into the shape. The back will definitely get, and you can always like shake it out if you want it looser. Did you think about that? Does that help at all with that, do you think?
Yeah,
The
I
sausagey
kind
side
of,
of things?
well, yeah, I noticed it was bothering me yesterday that it kept clumping together. And so I did that this morning. But I also like go to a church where we move a lot. So like I'll bend down and I'll stand back up. And like before I know it, I'm like doing this to get it out of my face. And so sometimes it's just like, I can do that. I can be more mindful of doing that more gently, but oh, excuse me.
That is awesome. Hi, kitty cat.
That's my boy.
Oh man. Oh, so cute.
Yeah, so I did that this morning, but there's so much movement in my day, and so I don't know. What did happen to me last week when I used them, the waves tended to hold really well, actually. Like I got to day 3 and I had beach waves, and I was like, this is freaking awesome. But I noticed that that what was happening was the front of my hair was like these really pretty waves, and then the back had like almost completely straightened with just like a little coil at the bottom.
Curl at
And
the
so
bottom.
like I just felt like it was probably I attributed it to just my hair texture, just like what does or does not hold a curl.
It's the back. I'm the same way too. The back doesn't hold a curl as well for me either, and it'll straighten out. But when we wrap our hair, I can show you another way that'll get the curls started sooner in the back, which might help to get those curls to not turn so flat so fast. It just kind of adds extra tension while you're wrapping it. So they'll start sooner, and hopefully last longer. Another thing is, I'll just give like high level tips based on a couple of things you mentioned. When you come out of the shower and you let your hair air dry naturally, the bottom of your hair is going to dry faster than the top of your hair that's by your head. And so what normally will happen is if you put it on after you let your hair air dry, if it's not like really 100% dry, it's going to allow that crease to form that you mentioned here. That shows like kind of that helmet head that shows that you're using a heatless curler. The awkward line right here. So that's why I kind of recommend starting with completely dry hair. And of course, it all depends on your normal shower cycle and when you want to do that. But if you let your air dry completely first and then just lightly dampen it from the ear level down, trying to avoid that part where you're going to have the headband wrap here. It's when the water's there that is going to add that extra crease. So you're just trying to loosen up the amount of moisture there. If that makes sense.
I'm wondering if misting it on the bottom area would be better for my hair, just because this bottom area, like even if I know it asks how long do heated curls last for you. That's like even the top part, but the under part, like I'll curl it and I'll hairspray it, and literally I'll walk out of the house and it'll be straight already. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no hope for this undercarriage. So I imagine the spritz belongs down here.
Definitely. You'll want to get the underside spritz down here. And then if you're going to add any product while you're prepping it, the one I recommend for hold is mousse. Hands down,
Oh,
mousse. Like it's better than anything else out there that are like gels or sprays. Mousse will help it hold and is supposed to like it's hard to find them these days because like mousse is not in vogue anymore like it was in the 80s.
yeah.
But just like
Yeah.
the local CVS Walgreens, whatever
No,
you can find is like
I
the
think
old
I
school
have
mousse.
one.
Yeah.
I think I still have, hold on.
Yeah,
It's
let
right
me see
here.
what you got then. Perfect. Thanks, Jamie.
This one by Camille Rose, spiked
Cool.
honey mousse.
Yeah, we could give it a shot. We could definitely give it a shot.
But
Um,
you put it on dry hair then? Or mist it or what?
I would recommend misting your hair. Well, what I usually do is, do you have like a spray bottle?
Yeah.
Perfect. So if that's with water, I usually put half water, half mousse.
Huh.
And,
Okay.
and then shake it up, and then you're just lightly spraying it. You don't want your hair super wet, but you'll want to make sure you get the insides back here as well. And that'll help to lock that in as well. Definitely mousse.
Okay.
I'll give the asterisk that I haven't tried that mousse in particular. But the ones that I have tried that are not in the traditional, like, like whipped cream, you spray it out of a can and it's like that. So there's
Yeah.
mousse like that, that's the old school kind. I've always found that those like old school spray out of a foam can type thing work better.
Okay.
But just a heads up, but give it a shot because I haven't tried it at all, so I don't know. But yeah, just trying to give you all the tips here.
Okay, cool.
Cool. That should definitely help with the hold. And in terms of hairspray, hands down, the best hairspray I've ever found. For our type, so my hair doesn't hold a curling iron curl whatsoever. I'm the same thing. Like all of my hair goes flat in like 15 minutes. Doesn't matter, it just goes flat. There's one hairspray called Got to Be. It's a yellow bottle. I can find the link if you like, but they use it to make mohawks. Like, hair is like straight up and they just spray it on, they cake it on, they make it really wet. Don't do that. Hold it far away, but it's the one that will literally like lock your curls in place and lock your hairstyle in place. I just found it like a couple weeks ago because I'm always trying things. Otherwise, hairsprays I've always found kind of like way down and cause the curls to kind of go flat faster.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one that's like, yeah, because it's meant for mohawks. It works with that. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Trying to think if there's anything else that should be helpful here. I'm sorry, honey. I'm trying to think. You mentioned a lot
I
of
was
things.
wondering.
Yeah.
I know, 'cause I've seen so many videos on Pinterest and stuff like that with the other ones. Like, this is by far the most effective heatless curl invention because of the wire. So like my hair, when I start twisting it and I get to the bottom, already my bangs in this area is starting to like loosen up and puff out. And so I'm like constantly pulling it back. And so like the fact that I can twist it tighter is super helpful. So I think so thank you.
My pleasure.
This.
I'm so happy to hear that.
The what I would love to be able to do, I guess my two questions. So sleeping is one, because by the time I twist it, the wire has moved and my hair is thick. So like, it's just this big ol' on the side of my head. So it's just hard to find a position where if the pillow's not in the ring, then I'm uncomfortable. But like, if it's in the ring, I'm like this. Like, and so I'm still figuring that out. So I do need help with that. But what I would love to figure out how to do is if it's possible to make it like PC beach waves where like I can pull the back and the front like in a way where it's not all one direction.
Yep, the crisscross method for sure. So we can work on those together. Yeah, I think these are really good things. We can work on fix both of those like things together while we do the demo. I'll work with you on that, Jamie. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. So to start, hair should be like brushed and prepped, like we talked about. Don't worry about it now, because we're gonna make two different types. I'm gonna make one side the beachy wave, and then the other side I'm just gonna do it the classic wave, so you can make sure we're covering all our bases. So don't worry about prepping your hair so you don't get two different types.
Okay.
But yeah, hair should be parted in two in section and brought to the front. Your hair is gorgeous. So
thank you.
beautiful. My pleasure. Sure.
It's like I'm trying so hard to grow it out because I've always wanted to keep it long, but it's starting to really tick me off. Like I thought this morning, it would be really nice to just have a boy cut and not have to worry about it.
I
And I'm
know.
like, it's almost to my butt. I don't think that I should do that.
Oh, that's awesome. If you ever do it, you can donate it too, which is so nice. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, your hair is really healthy too, which is impressive at that length.
Yeah, you can't see the split ends from there, but it's getting there.
It's getting there. Always. Cool. So I like to start by folding it in half so that the ends are even. And then there's like a crease right in the middle. And you'll notice that there's like the wire all along one side, like you mentioned before.
Okay.
Awesome. So now when we put it on, we're going to want that wire to be facing forward, not backwards.
Okay.
And that crease will help it sit right in the middle. Cool.
Okay.
And the reason why we say wire forward is because if it's the other way around, it's going to be sliding backwards. So wire forward is helpful. If I'm repeating anything you already know, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Like I watched the tutorial videos, but I appreciate being able to do something again.
I appreciate you watching it and knowing this stuff. This makes my life so easy. This is where I
The moment I saw this, I was like, thank God I don't have to use a clip.
Thank God. Cool. All right. So now we'll wrap this side. And what I'm going to do on this wrap job is kind of show you how to angle it further back so that we can try to wrap the curls sooner in the back. And that's going to be the goal with this one. Since you were mentioning that before, that they kind of fall down and just have like a little bit of curl at the end. We're going to try to get the curls to start sooner. So we're going to take our same like front 1-inch section. Very good. Awesome, Jaime. And wrap it over and under.
Okay.
Yeah, and then combine it. Yeah, you're good at this.
I've just practiced the last week or so.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You're really good. Cool. And I'll call out a couple of things you're doing that are well. One is that each wrap is touching the last, so that helps to create a consistent curl shape. And another thing you're doing good is you're grabbing like only like a section that's about 1 inch deep from your hairline. So if you French braid, you usually grab it back here. That'll cause the headband to slide back. So you don't want to do that. You want to kind of keep it close to the hairline. So that'll just help if you're wearing it out and stuff. Now we're at the ear, so let's combine and add another section. That is fun. Wrap it over and under. Great. Okay, and so now that we're at the ear, we're going to angle the headband instead of going straight down towards like the nape of the neck. We're going to kind of angle it more towards like the center of your, I don't know, head, like that way. So while you're wrapping, you're going to kind of pull the hair more up and over that way, if that makes sense. So you're trying to create like this, it's going to end more towards like, I don't know, this point of your head rather than down here. And that'll start the curls sooner in the back.
Okay.
It's a little bit more, you know, arm strength to do it.
Yeah.
Feel like you gotta get it more up there. But it's gonna start the curls sooner in the back, and it'll also just add a little bit more volume as well because you're lifting the hair up while you wrap it. So it kind of just like almost like sets it in rollers because it's at that vertical look.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can combine, sorry, I didn't mention one other thing, which is, I'm so sorry, hon, I should have said it. Once you're at the ear, you can add all the hair.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's easier, so you're not going bit by bit. You add all the hair once you get to the ear, and then you angle it backwards.
Okay. This already feels more promising.
Cool. And that's just like a little, that one in particular is just to start the curls sooner in the back.
I'm like, where's my scrunchie?
Story of my life. Number of times I say that every day. You have to watch out for the cats too. My cat took the scrunchie once.
Oh, yeah.
Plays with it, paws it off of the table.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that already feels more secure.
Okay, cool. Cool. And normally you'll just be doing it like straight down this way. And the reason we angled it is to start the curls sooner. So if you want it to like look cuter, we can always do that. That looks good, honey. Awesome job. Fabulous. Okay, cool. So now on the other side, we'll go through like the beachy waves to try to get that crisscross look and get them started in other directions. I'm going to add an asterisk that me personally, I don't love the crisscross. I've done it a bunch of times and it kind of knots up my hair. Your hair is silkier and smoother than mine, so it might not have that same issue. But basically when you crisscross and you're sleeping on it especially, it can kind of just like rub them in together like this, and it creates like when you try and take it out, it just doesn't come off as smoothly. But
Yeah.
it does work nonetheless to make the curls go in different directions. And also it doesn't add such a hard crease because you're kind of switching it up a bit.
Yeah.
So cool. So with the crisscross, we'll take our small front section.
The bangs is the bane of my existence. They always fall out first.
Yep. We're going to wrap it over and under, and then we're going to grab the other front section, but this time it's in the back. So here we're just taking the back piece. It should be like a top front. There you go. Yep, that's great.
Is it okay that this back section's way bigger than the front?
It is okay. It's okay. And what we're going to kind of do again is just like angle it a little bit further away from your hairline while we're wrapping it. So the first one is just to lock it in place. So it's okay, that's bigger. Perfect. And you're going to wrap that over and under. Great.
Okay.
And now what I'm going to ask you to do is kind of pull that section more up towards the first one that you wrapped. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, I see.
Yep. So that you're trying to keep it like kind of like braids, you know, each one touching the last and one thing. So now we're going to grab the section, another front section, and combine it with the first.
This is like French braiding kind of.
Yeah.
But I've never done it before successfully. So this is kind of fun. Oh, wait.
I'm the same way. When it comes to French braiding, I can't do it. But this, I've been able to figure out is at least I can braid. Perfect. And you're going over and under, and then you're going to add another section to that back one, combine it, and go over and under. So really it's just add, over and under, then add to the back one, over and under.
I lost which one is it? I'm like, wait.
That one is, yep, okay, so that going towards your face, up.
This is the new one.
Yep, and that should go up. Yep, up and then towards your face. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Hold on.
Yep.
Okay, because it's connected to this one.
Oh, is it connected to the first one? We can take it from the top too. And it'll also be easier probably if you have a mirror.
Let me take it.
Let's take it from the top. Okay, we'll go very slow. Let's do this together. All right.
Like my first time French braiding ever. So
all right, so we got our front section. Let's start with the front section like OG, like clean out.
Okay.
So you have no sections. Yeah. Pull all the hair forward. There's some on it. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Beauty. Okay, we got it. Now we're going to go over and under.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to mirror your hands. So I'm using the same hands as you. I like that you kept that first section in your left hand, I think it is. You're probably doing this.
I'm holding it with my right.
Is this your right hand, the one that's like a bent elbow? This one?
Yeah.
That's your right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So keep it in your right. Now with your left hand, then go in to the back.
Okay.
Take out that like top back piece towards the crown, that piece of hair.
Okay.
And that's in your left hand, and you're going to pull that now over the headband. I have them both in what would be your right hand.
They're still separated. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're wrapping it back around. So now that top piece you just pulled out is going to be in your left hand. Perfect. You're doing good. Now you can even let go of that first section. What we're going to do now is grab another piece and combine it with that first section. You'll just naturally find it again. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I think, yeah. Okay, good. Yep, there you go. Over and under. Great, honey. And now you're going to go with your left hand, grab another chunk right behind, combine it, and then go up and towards your face this time. Yep. Very good. Up.
Okay.
Now we're going to go up and towards your face and over. Perfect. You got it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now you have this piece here. So we're going to add another, I would just add all that's left
Yeah.
to that piece. So it's all combined. Great. Because you're at the ear. Whenever you get to the ear, just take whatever's left. So now that's going to go over and under. Great. Awesome. And now it's essentially braiding. You have 3 pieces.
Okay.
So at this point, you're essentially going over and under. Then with the other hand, over and under. Over and under. Then with the other hand, and under. Over and under.
This is such a trip. Okay.
I know. But you got it. You did get it. Over and under. With the other hand, over and under. Till you get to the end. You're doing so good, Jaime. I'm sweating over here. This is a workout for my arms.
So hard. Okay.
I love it. No, it's good. It's so good. Okay.
Oh, and there's the length of my hair coming out.
Awesome. You did what I wanted you to do, which is to push it up. Perfect. You already knew that hack. I appreciate that. Cutie. Okay, cool. We did it. Now, the one other thing, yeah, totally wrap it up. One other thing I'll mention, since you mentioned like beachier, more tousled waves. I know some people like to leave the ends out if they just want like more straight ends for that like beachy kind of messier look. I don't do that, but it's just an option, just something I'm calling out. Whew, we did it. You did a great job. Nailed it. It looks way better than mine. That's for sure. You did such a good job. So yeah, this will definitely get them to turn out and be like the alternating versions. This will get to start sooner in the back. Now, when it comes to sleeping comfortably, I know we look a little silly. My scrunchie doesn't even match. Okay, so when it comes to sleeping comfortably, do you normally sleep with it in the headband look? Is that what you were doing? Yeah. Okay, so here's the tip on the sleep side of things, which would be, yes, you can twist the tighten and make it as tight as you want, like we normally, as you know. Now, when you're sleeping, it'll stay in that position. So you don't have to make it a headband if you don't want to. You can like move it up and around, like just it's wire, so you can like literally like move it up and tuck it in the front if you want to like kind of lock it in. Yeah. It's so you can make it a ram horn, like whatever is little like Princess Leia buns, you can totally move it around and it won't slide out even if you don't tuck the wire in. You can even sleep like this, like however is comfortable. It's not going to unravel after you twist it.
Because I roll onto my back and then roll onto my face. So it's like having it right here, like right around my ear was hard because it was like, I also recently had neck surgery. So
my goodness, hon. Wow.
I'm trying to like figure out what position is safe for my neck. So I'm not like cranking it in any way.
Okay.
And so that's why are you staring at me? What? my cat's like this. He's judging me. Yeah, I think up here feels like a lot better.
Okay, cool.
So I can try that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry to hear you to go through the neck surgery. My gosh. Whew.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's done.
It's done. But yeah, definitely move this around however feels most comfortable. Yeah, that one's going to be a little trickier because it is more locked in place with the hair.
Yeah.
But you could, nonetheless, I don't know, make like Heidi. You have so many options here.
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, you can move them around. Cool. And
I
then, yeah.
like this a lot better because at least then if I'm sleeping on my side and I'm kind of angled like this, I don't have the rod back here
Mhm.
like pulling my neck in any direction.
Yep, exactly. And then when we were angling it this way, I think that'll help too, because it's not so close to the nape of your neck. Normally it's kind of
Yeah.
angled this way. We angled it up a little bit. Cool,
Yeah. I
cool.
think that'll be better for my bangs too, because my bangs, I watched your short hair
Yeah,
one where like you pulled it up and over more. And I felt like that was helping me because my bangs just they fall out so fast. And I think that's because they're the healthier hair, like they don't have split ends, so they just like want to be their shape. And
yeah,
so I would do that, but then by the time I got to the bottom up here, like even if I twisted the bottom, it got tighter, but the top just kind of stayed where it was, like a little foofy.
yep,
And
yep.
pulling it back this direction and pulling it over, I think is good because this feels secure. Like I don't feel I have to push it forward or like adjust it at all.
That's good. Okay, awesome. One other thing you mentioned was the frizz. So yeah, we talked about spraying your hair, making sure it's ear level down and starting with dry hair. If you avoid
Mhm.
getting like the back of your hair wet, that'll help reduce the frizz there. The other thing
Okay.
I can recommend, which I don't personally adore using, but I know plenty of people that do, is like a
Mhm.
sleep cap, like a silk or satin bonnet type thing.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
one. I can show you
Mhm.
what it looks like. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching these videos lately of this hairstylist guy. He doesn't have any hair, but he's an expert. And he talks about like those little simple things that can help prevent breakage. And I move around a lot when I sleep, so I've been thinking about getting one.
Yeah, I got one out to try it because I know a lot of our customers talk about using it and how they like to use it. And I found one that has like a drawstring, so it's more adjustable to fit
Mhm.
your, because with this, you're trying to fit it under. Um,
Yeah.
but I found some, they weren't, they were $5, $7. There weren't anything much, and they seemed fine as like
Yeah.
a fix. Cool. I'm trying to think. I think there was something else I wanted to mention. We got the silk bonnet, that. I think that might be it. Who's the guy you were watching? I'm curious. Do you remember his name? Because I've recently found a bald guy too.
Yeah.
In the hair
He
space.
he what I love about him is he doesn't sell anything. All of his stuff is just like the most effective way to keep your hair healthy. And like he's like, I recommend these products, but I'm not gonna sell you anything. I
That's
know is he's like a he owns a blow dry bar.
is it in Florida?
Yes.
I think I was
Yeah.
watching the same guy. He's super charismatic, and I think his like co-partner on the is a woman with like long black hair, and she's on the show from time to time. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
him too. I can't
It's
remember his
Blowout
name.
Professor.
Blowout Professor. Yep, that's him. That's exactly him. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
I was doing several things that were destroying my hair. And so I just watched a couple of his videos, changed a couple habits. I can already tell that there's a difference. Like I can
Wow.
already feel the difference. So that's really nice.
Have you changed the way you shampoo your hair? I remember that episode and I found that changing as well, life changing.
Like I've I've always had trouble with greasy hair at the top and especially around my forehead. But back here it gets so dry and like untame. And so I can't, it was always so hard for me because it was like no matter how much product I went through, it still wouldn't hold on to any moisture. And once he explained what porosity was, I was like, oh,
That's
I
it.
mean, if I let my hair air dry and I don't use a leave-in or an oil, I'm just letting all of the moisture out. And plus like the washing thing, like I was like, why is it that my scalp feels clean, but like my hair just immediately gets greasy the same day. Like I am 30 minutes out of the shower and I am already feeling greasy. And I
Yeah.
don't live in Florida.
No, it's a dry climate. Yeah. And it's
So
the getting it in there. It's
it
like kind
never
of obvious once he says it. I'm like, how am I just finding out about it now at age 34? I wish I knew it my whole life. It's
yeah.
frustrating, but it's really
And
good.
I asked my husband, like, how do you wash your beard? Do you like lather it first? And he was like, no, put it on. And then I was like, how did you know that? And I
And us beauty ladies don't.
Yeah.
It's too funny. That's cool. Yeah, his content's really good. It is. It's super helpful, and I appreciate he puts it all out there like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Well, cool. I think you should be good with some of these tips. If you have any questions or, anything else along the way, you can always reach back out, Jaime. It's just so nice to meet you through all of this and
Oh,
hope it's
thank you. I
helpful.
appreciate that. Yeah, it was. Thank you so much. I'll let you know if I need anything.
Awesome. Sounds good. Have a wonderful evening, Jaime. Bye.
You too, Em. Bye.